All right, welcome back to the channel. This is part 3 of moving day, where I moved into my new shop, my garage. And we're currently working on getting the second strap on my, not the anvil, the railroad track. So we're going to get that taken care of today. I didn't go to the store and buy a vice grip C-clamp to hold the metal down, but what I'm going to do instead is build a little a C-clip for the end of my tongs. It'll go over this, and as I bite down on this, I'll slide it this way and it'll clamp down, and then hold it with my legs, and still have both hands available. If we've got time, I'll also work on creating a bottle opener out of some bar stock or square stock, something. We'll work on getting that done. So starting off, I'm going to take the piece that I cut off yesterday. I'm going to drift some holes into it and then get it formed around the anvil or the railroad track. All right, so stay tuned. Let's roll the intro and get busy doing it. On today's episode, I forget to turn on a camera, I record some snow, and I use a tool. All coming up. All right, here's the bar I cut yesterday. 25.5 inches, I think, something like that. Use my approximation tool. 19.5 inches is where I got it at. So what I'm going to do, bite down on this metal with these tongs and get an idea of the length that this goes around. So 4 inches. And remember, ultimately I want this to be a bit shy of 4 inches. But not too much, I don't think. Okay, here's my round stock that I'm going to make my C-clip out of. What I'll do is take the measuring tape, wrap it around the tongs while I'm holding something, and just get an idea of how big it is or how long it needs to be. And then I'll shave some off of it, because once I get it down to the end, I want it to have pressure. I want it to stay tight. I want those tongs to be compressed against whatever it's holding, and I don't want it to slip. So it's going to have to be a bit shorter than what I measured. Then I'm going to round it on the horn of the anvil and use my cut-off tool to cut off the length of it, and then see how they work. I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up on the camera, but it's snowing out, so it's pretty kind of cold outside. All right, here's the bar I cut yesterday. 25.5 inches, I think, something like that. Use my approximation tool. 19.5 inches is where I got it at. So what I'm going to do, bite down on this metal with these tongs and get an idea of the length that this goes around. So 4 inches. And remember, ultimately I want this to be a bit shy of 4 inches. But not too much, I don't think. So I think for now, I'll just do it right at 4 inches. because we've got to consider that this is probably going to as I bend it around, it'll probably end up being a bit extra. Got to take into consideration the thickness of it, and it's probably a 1/4 inch. Let's go ahead and cut it at the 4 inches anyways. I don't know if that's going to make it easier to work with or not, but as I was thinking about it, I'm going to try to wield that big 4-foot piece of steel around. That didn't make any sense, so we'll stick with this. Come on, work with me.
Come on, grab it with your hands, come on.
Ah! Okay, rookie mistake. I closed that off. Looks like it's going to be about right, but I closed it off before I actually got it around the handle of the tongs. Now there's no way to get it in there, so I've got to find a way to open it back up so that I can put it over these and then hammer it, which is going to be tricky because I can't put it in too far. I can't open it up too much because then I won't be able to close it, and I've got to get it opened enough to actually get over the bars. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Well, that's one thing I didn't count on. I'm going to let these cool off before I let the link here cool off before I try putting it in and seeing how well it works. But I didn't count on the fact that it's limiting the amount that I can actually open these now. So I'll probably just have to leave this on for this project, and then look at doing something else, solving some other problem. But for now, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this into the heat. Don't sag on me, don't sag. There you go, got a hole. I made a hole. All right, that side's all set. Tong holders worked beautifully. And now it's time to start working on the second side. Well, I got the holes put in the ends of my strap. I'm gonna work on putting that on next. Since I was at it and had the forge going, I decided to go ahead and start working on the bottle opener. The problem right now is the end of this horn is too fat. I drove my center punch all the way through it with the handle end, so I got it as thick as I could. But it's not thick enough, so I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah, I'll have to figure something out for that. But the horn, the end is too thick, and my punch isn't big enough. I may actually have something, that piece of rebar that I made into a point. I may be able to use that. But for now, I'm going to get this turned around and start working on getting the straps put on the other side.